Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of T-Dog RC, and this is episode 2 of my rebuild, if you like, of this Thunder Tiger Raptor 50 classic nitro helicopter which I bought off eBay. I've made quite a lot of progress, refitted all my radio gear into this, new gyro, had to put the tail boom back on. So this episode is just going to be getting it finished off. So we've got a number of jobs to do. I need to put some new tail rotors on this because those are pretty worn out. It's a pretty quick job. Got to finalise setting up the radio, got to put the head on and the rotors, which is pretty important. Get the body fastened on to check all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's just getting these last few little bits done, ready for its first flight. So if that sounds like something that you're going to be interested in, then I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you enjoy my channel, then hit the subscribe button, and you can also give me a thumbs up, which helps me out. And yeah, let's get stuck in. Let's get this on the bench. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on first, and then obviously that's going to give me the distance to where this sort of fin needs to go. So yeah, let's get stuck in. I don't think it matters which way these go by the looks of it, because they're pretty much the same. So we'll start by getting one in here, unless one end is slightly bigger, which I think that one is actually. So that is probably going to go that way round. There we go. So we get that screwed into there. And then we'll just get this end unscrewed. Take both of those out. And then take those two out. And we should be able to fit this over the top. So it does go quite far back actually. So it's going to go, you see that on the camera. So we can just get that one screwed in there, and then we'll turn it round, do the other side. Then it's just a case of fastening that on top. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so that was a nice simple job. So next thing I'm going to do, another nice straightforward one, is I'm going to swap these tail blades out, because as you can see, as expected, they've got a few scratches and knocks and things like that. So I've got a new set, actually a brand new set, which I got in a box of spares. So let's get those fitted. Very straightforward, or at least it should be, because it is literally just a case of unscrewing that bolt, assuming you get the right sized Allen key. Just going to have to get a pair of pliers to hold the bolt because it's spinning. It's going to be a little bit tricky actually, because it's difficult to, because it's kind of embedded into the plastic, so you can't really get a grip on it. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let's just get that out. Remember which way this was, well obviously opposite to the other one, but leading edge facing up. So let's get that out, and then let me have a rummage through my box of bits. Here we go, look, got a brand new set. It's even got the bolts and things with it, but I don't need those because I'll just use what's there. So nice to have though. Let's just get this open. and get the two blades out. Just double check if they are the right ones. Yep, exactly. Perfect. So let's slide that one back in. Just got to get it lined up. There we go. That's probably as tight as that needs to go. Might just do it up a tiny little bit more. You don't want it super tight though, because these are designed to sort of move and straighten themselves out. But I do want to make sure I've got enough of the bolt coming through the lock nut. That's it, that should be fine. Okay, I will get the other one done, and then that's a nice little job done. Okay, so next job now is quite an important one, because we've got to get this head put back on. So obviously that's just going to slide in there. Got to take that bolt out, so got to get this bolt out. In fact, let's just get that out now. Right, and then we can slide this in. But bizarrely, okay, so we need to kind of get that lined up like that. It's a bit difficult because it's catching on my shelf. That should be lined up there. So push that down. I think that's it. Hopefully that's going to go all the way through. Right, I think that's it. I think I just probably pushed it down a bit too far. That's better. I think that's going through now. That should do, I think, because it's a lock nut, so it doesn't have to be like absolutely tightened up to the gunnels. Obviously we don't want it coming out. That would be a problem. Right, so that's got that done. So what I've got to do now is, there's some linkages here that I need to get reconnected. So you've got those two on there. So that just clips on there. And that one goes on there. There we go. Like that. And then we've got the main rotors, so they go on there. Now then. That one looks a little bit worn out, so I think I'm just going to swap that. But what I'm going to do is, I have bought some more, but I'm just going to put a little mark there. Hopefully. I've got a brand new set of new ones that I got off eBay. You can still get new parts for this. Obviously they're old, but they're still new, if that makes sense. Just people have got them lying around in various shops and things. So if you look on eBay, you can sometimes find the bits you need, which is good. So got a brand new one on there, just double check it's definitely the same. Yep, cool. So we'll get rid of that one, because that definitely looked like it had seen better days. And then we'll screw this one back on. There we go. And then that's going to clip on there. Now obviously I'm going to have to when I set the radio up, I'm going to have to adjust all these anyway. But we'll go with that for now. That one's okay, so we'll just get that one on as it is. Ready for the rotor blades then would be next, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to now get it all set up on my radio and get everything trimmed out, centralised, mechanically done first, and then obviously tweaked just with some endpoints. I've also got to adjust the collective servo, which is this one here. There is a little gauge on the side of, let me just grab this light so you can see, hopefully. So there is a little gauge on here for the collective pitch, and if you're a beginner like I am, then the only movement that should be neutral here. So you can see that mark. Oh, actually it's not quite there, but you get the idea. Just lining up with that mark there, so that's about neutral, and then that is 10%, I think it is, positive pitch, and then that there's about -3 or something, but you can obviously, if you want to fly 3D, you can take it down to here or even here, but there's no way I'm going to be doing that to begin with, so I've just got to set it up so the collective only moves between those 2 points. So again, that's a mixture of using endpoints on my radio and just making sure it's all nice and neutral mechanically. So, starting to take shape, starting to look back like a helicopter again. So yeah, let me get my radio out. I'm going to set this up now because it's a classic model. All the mixing pretty much is done mechanically here, all around here, so I don't have to set it up as a helicopter in my model. I'm actually going to just set it up like a standard plane with 5 channels, and then going to mix channels 5 and 3, which is throttle and collective pitch together, so they move in tandem with each other. And then, as I said, just limit the collective pitch one. I think that's how I'm going to do it anyway, and I think that's all I need to do in terms of mixing on this. So we've got to get all that set up, got to get the gyros set up, make sure that's going in the right direction, obviously make sure all the controls are going in the right direction, make sure I've got everything nice and neutral, so when the sticks are all in the middle, everything is obviously in the middle and neutral on here is the plan. So I'm going to fiddle around with that. It's going to take me a little while to do, and then I'll show you that all working, powered up, and then that's, well, we've got to put the main rotors on, obviously it's not going to fly without those, and then just clip the body on, make sure that goes on okay, and I think we're about there. Okay, so here it is, blades on, as you can see, looking superb. Everything's done, everything's set up. I've got it all set up in my radio. So I got it set up on my X20 Pro. It's got the TW receiver, so that's tandem 2.4 gig band. So it gives me some redundancy. And yeah, got it everything set up. So rotors all, tail rotors all set up there. Got it all configured with the gyro. That's all working. And I've tested the gyro. When I move the tail, it's moving in the right direction, so that's all good. And then I've got all the controls set up here, so swash plate and everything's, so we've got right and left, forward and backwards, so that's all going in the right direction. And then we've got the collective pitch, which, as I say, I've mixed that with my throttle, and then if I just get this turned around, it's becoming a bit of a beast to move around the workshop now. So let me show you, let me just zoom in on this and get my light on it, so hopefully you can see there. So that's in the lowest position, and it is quite difficult to see on camera, but I think you can see there that, let me get my pencil, you can see here that the pointer is lining up with that bottom marker there, and then if I do half throttle, which is about there, it's bang on halfway there as well, and then full throttle gives me full collective pitch. And I've done that on this radio using limits. So in the instructions it tells you to do it mechanically by changing the distance between the control arms and all that sort of stuff, but obviously with having a nice new modern radio I've been able to set that using limits, and that's exactly as it should be in the instructions for a beginner like me. So yeah, really pleased with it. It's all gone on really nice. Pleased with all the cabling. I think it's about as neat as I could get it. As you can see, nothing snagging, everything's free to move. So we're all good. So let me just chuck the canopy on and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, there it is with the canopy on. Looks absolutely superb. I really can't wait to take this down the field and give it a go. And as you can see there, you can really easily see the battery indicator there, so that's nice and bright. And in fact that might even help me with the orientation a bit, because you'll be able to see that light when it's facing you. Yeah, so checked all the servos again whilst it's got the canopy on. Everything's moving really freely, and as I said in the last episode, when I tested all these movements, everything's really slick and moving really nicely, so nothing's binding. So yeah, it's really good, and obviously collective pitch is working nicely, so should all be golden. So next job I've got is I just need to start it up, basically check that the engine's all working okay, which I'm sure it will do, but I just need to check the tick over and everything, make sure it's ticking over. I'm going to have to mess around with the sub trims on the channel 3 throttle, I think, to adjust the tick over rather than using the actual trim, because I think if I use the trim that will also affect the collective pitch. I think I might be wrong, but I'll check that anyway. And obviously I've got the blades put on. I've put some new lock nuts on these just in case that the old ones were a little bit looked a little bit worn out, and the nylon was looking a bit old, so I've swapped those for some nice new nuts on there. Yeah, it's really looking good. I can't wait to get it started and fly it. I'm probably not going to film a maiden of this, to be honest, because I think the maiden's going to be pretty boring. It's a big learning curve with these things. They're a lot harder to fly than planes. So it's going to be a lot of hovering about to begin with. So maybe once I get a bit more skilled at flying it around, then I'll do a bit of filming around that. But yeah, really enjoyed putting this together. It's really nice to take something that's, you know, several, I don't know how old this is, probably at least 10 or 15 years old, and, you know, do some recondition work on it, replace all the servos and everything, various bits and bobs that needed replacing, and bring this thing back to life. So if you've enjoyed that series, thanks a lot for watching along, and thanks if you've watched right to the end. Hope you've had fun. And if you're into RC, nitro, fixed wing mainly, obviously I've got this now, then please hit subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and I'd love to have you on board as a subscriber. And if you've enjoyed the video as well, just hit the thumbs up and give me a like. That helps me out on YouTube as well. And as always, thanks to everyone who currently subscribes and supports the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you soon for the next one.